In the crowded halls of the Superpower Academy, Ningfeng found himself deeply immersed in a mobile game while walking around. He vigorously wanted to make all of his enemies lose. His concentration broken by a sudden palm strike. He felt the sting of impact on his cheek. Wang Yu, his partner, questioned his focus, reminding him of the awakening exam that was about to arrive. Ningfeng, with a chuckle, defended his actions, saying that his gain was a mix of work and leisure. He joked about his age, saying that he was already 18 years old and would most likely awaken to a simple 1- or 2-star profession. While leaning on Wang Yu, he jokingly compared his journey to Wang Yu's, highlighting his remarkable achievements. Highlighting her remarkable achievement as a 5-star profession at the age of 16. He provocatively questioned the need for perseverance when he could potentially ride her career in the future, a comment that irritated Wang Yu. Reacting sharply, he grabbed Ningfeng by the neck, his voice echoing with frustration as he vowed to support her, albeit under duress. Observing this debate, the audience noted Wang Yu's return from special training, recognizing her rare talent in a province that lacked similar prodigies. Wang Yu's striking superiority, characterized by her beauty, wealth, and talent, creates an undeniable gulf between her and the others. As the men observed Ningfeng's futile attempts to get back her cell phone, they pondered her identity. One of them labeled her as Ningfeng, a notorious outcast at school, notorious for her failure to wake up despite being close to 18 years old. Wang Yu took matters into her own hands, pulling Ningfeng's ears, which exasperated the men. Confused by Wang Yu's relationship with Ningfeng, they expressed their confusion about how someone as honorable as her could be friends with someone like Ningfeng, who was known to be from an orphanage. In the world of Blue Star, where virtuality meets reality, individuals age 16 and above have the opportunity to awaken their latent abilities and embark on adventures. Amidst this backdrop, anticipation arose when the students were told that the upcoming awakening miracle could have transformative potential for them. Meanwhile, Ningfeng, amidst the crowd, stood by as he contemplated Wang Yu's uncharacteristic seriousness. Despite facing the awakening exam for the 3rd time, she maintained a sense of resilience, refusing to be discouraged by her previous attempts. As per the instructor's directions, the students who were called forward were ordered to come forward to the exam area for evaluation. Those who successfully rose were promised a basic set of equipment tailored to their profession, in addition to the anticipation of practical testing. Amidst chatter about the desired outcome, the instructor called out her name, asking her to step forward. Teasing whispers accompanied his steps, questioning his status as a senior of the 3rd class and his alliance with goddess Wang Yu. Despite the jokes, she remained calm, guided by the smile of the teacher named Tu Wei. He reassured her, urging her to place her hands on the crystal and calm her mind, instructions she dutifully followed. Settling into a state of anticipation, she waited for the results, not expecting anything out of the ordinary. However, her hopes were crushed as the crystal lit up with a brilliance that left everyone, including her, stunned. Convinced that her interaction with the crystal indicated her ability to awaken, she attributed the event to the blue light, representing the magic system. Despite being laughed at by her friends, she remained unfazed, convinced that the awakening process would provide important skills. Curious about his potential, he eagerly awaited the results, hoping to gauge the extent of his abilities. As the crystals emitted various colors, he was surprised when the system revealed that he had awakened a 1-star profession, acquiring the survival spell technique as his starting skill. His disappointment was obvious, with Tai Wei expressing pity for his 1-star achievement. Amidst the mocking laughter of his classmates, they mockingly urged him to step down, asserting that remaining silent was shameful and trash is trash. When questioned about the skills she had just acquired, she gave no answer, prompting Kai Wei to call her out again, breaking her reverie. Bewildered by the attention, he stares at Kai Wei in confusion, leading Kai Wei to speculate that he has suffered a considerable blow as a result of the revelation. Although disappointed, he complied with Tai Wei's instructions, donned the equipment provided and prepared for the next stage of evaluation. The weight of the 1-star rating hung heavy in the air as he reluctantly moved forward, unsure of what the future held. As she retreated, her mind swirled with conflicting thoughts, unsure if she had accurately heard the system's statement about her awakening completion. The memory of the system's voice echoed in his mind, confirming the acquisition of passive abilities, dark kinship and mystery gift. The kinship of darkness, it was explained, would protect him from the impact of dark forces, granting him legal immunity to use forbidden spells without consequence. Meanwhile, the mystery gift gave him the luxury to use forbidden spells on a weekly basis, without depleting resources. Pondering the implications of this newfound ability, he speculated on the nature of dark forces and the importance of forbidden spells in the hierarchy of magical prowess. However, his musings were interrupted when the system revealed another development: the metamorphosis of the forbidden spell technique. Confused by the concept of transformation and its implications, he waited for clarification from the system. In a sudden revelation, the system announced the completion of the transformation, opening the rotten earth shell of the forbidden curse. Stunned and confused by the unexpected evolution of his technique, he grappled with the implications of this unforeseen occurrence. Caught between astonishment and confusion, he struggled to understand the significance of his newfound ability and its consequences for his journey ahead. With anxiety gnawing at her mind, she contemplated the ominous nature of dark and forbidden spells, realizing the potential dangers they contained. Despite his misgivings, he braced himself for the upcoming practical exam, hoping fervently for a smooth ordeal. As the instructor briefed the candidates, outlining the parameters of the trial, she absorbed the instructions with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. The prospect of fighting monsters to acquaint himself with his newfound abilities seemed daunting before him. Tui's assurances provided some solace, yet the secretive nature of their assessments left him worried. His anxiety increased as the system launched its active ability, Rotten Earth Shell, a spell capable of summoning dark forces to build protective barriers and defeat enemies. Realizing the dangers inherent in using such arcane power, she worried about the repercussions if her secret was revealed. As the group entered the arena, her heart pounded with worry, compounded by the urgency of her unanswered questions directed at the mysterious system. Stepping through the portal, she emerged into a sun-drenched forest, the tranquil atmosphere contrasting with the turmoil stirring within her. While her companions engaged in battle with the goblins, she chose a more cautious approach, seeking refuge amidst the dense foliage. Aware of the close surveillance by the drones, she refrained from recklessly releasing her forbidden spell, conscious of the dire consequences of such an action. Despite his hesitation, he grappled with the realization that he had no alternative means of attack, which forced him to bide his time in seclusion. He was unaware of the drones hovering above. His attempts at concealment did not go unnoticed, drawing the ire of an observer who rebuked his passivity amidst the commotion. Tui, who identified the individual as Captain Zhu, interceded on his behalf, citing Ningfeng's delayed awakening and fragile health as mitigating factors. Highlighting the defensive nature of her only activated skill, which was not suitable for continued participation in the exam. However, Captain Zhao, who was not convinced by Kiwei's reasoning, questioned the usefulness of Ningfeng's modest achievements. One-star profession in the context of a real-world adventure. Doubts over his suitability as a bona fide adventurer grew, prompting consideration of his continued involvement in the evaluation process. Amidst the confusion, the monitoring personnel let out a confused exclamation, leading Captain Zhou to turn his attention to the monitors inquiring about the disturbance. The answering officer, also confused, relayed that the drone had been attacked, resulting in an interrupted connection. Sensing the gravity of the situation, the personnel sounded the emergency alarm, alerting all present to the unprecedented power surge detected in the region. Captain Zhou, gripped by worry, issued a swift order to conduct an investigative response, urging his subordinates to ascertain the cause of the escalating chaos without delay. Meanwhile, inside the arena, the drone lay in the wreckage, smashed to pieces. While the spectators recoiled in fear, grappling with the inexplicable enemy apparition inside the checkpoint. Eyeing the towering goblin brandishing a razor-sharp sword, he recoiled in fear, contemplating the implications of the menacing presence. The goblin chieftain, seizing the moment, gathered his kin, urging them to free themselves from slavery and defeat the intruders. In agreement, the goblins decided to trap their enemies inside the arena, leaving them no chance of escape. As the drone closed in on the goblins, the chieftain unleashed a devastating attack, obliterating the aerial reconnaissance device and tossing its remains into the surrounding foliage. As Ningfeng rubbed his aching head, he pondered the drone's sudden descent. Her confusion turned to shock as she found herself surrounded by a swarm of goblins. With a mocking laugh, the lead goblin mocked him as a common insect in their midst. Observing the advancing horde, Ningfeng speculated on the identity of the central figure, surmising that he was an elite leader. Realizing the absence of drones, Ningfeng took the opportunity to test the veracity of his forbidden spell, Channeling his desire, purple energy surged from his outstretched hand, summoning an undead entity from the earth. The goblin leader recoiled in shock at the sight of the ghost that appeared. Meanwhile, back at the monitoring station, chaos erupted as all the screens lost connection, accompanied by an ominous surge of dark power within the realm. Alarmed by the unprecedented disturbance, Captain Zhou quickly mobilized his troops, calling for reinforcements and the immediate evacuation of the non-combatants. Kiwi, understanding the precariousness of the situation, realized the presence of a king-level or above monster as a catastrophic threat capable of destroying the entire city. Confused by the unexpected appearance of the creature within the test venue, he questioned the reason behind the inclusion of such a terrifying creature in the test scenario. Within the confines of the arena, the goblin chieftain trembled in fear at the power being unleashed, his fear clearly visible amidst the commotion. Unperturbed, Ningfeng ordered his undead minions to attack the goblin horde. Witnessing the terrifying effectiveness of the forbidden spell, Ningfeng couldn't help but recoil at their bizarre manifestation, evoking fear even as his minions methodically dispatched the goblins. The system dutifully recorded his progress, rewarding him with experience points for every goblin conquered. With each fallen enemy, Ningfeng felt a surge of newfound power flow through him, an exhilarating sensation amidst the chaos of battle. As the goblin leader's resistance faltered, desperate pleas for mercy escaped his lips, calling into question Ningfeng's humanity and the inexplicable darkness that enveloped him. However, as the leader's movements slowed to a crawl, Ningfeng remained steadfast, his undead minions coiling around his hapless prey with grim finality. The system dutifully recorded his achievements, marking the death of the goblin vanguard and the exponential growth of Ningfeng's prowess by gaining plus 6,000 in experience.